Okay, guys, we're going to get started here. I will be recording this, putting it on YouTube. Obviously, if you want to try to watch this again, maybe it's helpful, just email me. I'll send you the YouTube. I'll have it ready in about an hour. Of course, it's always available on your broker desktop as well. So today's webinar is really for beginners and for advanced players. I've gotten a lot of people coming back to me saying, hey, look, Ken, I signed up for LinkedIn a few years ago, created a profile, kind of got involved with it, have kind of let it slip by the side, haven't really focused on it in a while. You know, I'm ready to get reinvigorated with it. What do I need to do? So there's going to be a few things I go through here that are pretty basic. We've probably covered them before. A few things that are pretty advanced, that are a little bit new that maybe you guys don't know. So just hang with me if you're a veteran user here. I'm confident throughout the presentation we'll teach you a few things you still don't know. So the first thing to understand with LinkedIn is really to just understand its purpose, okay? And obviously there's a lot of different purposes. To keep it simple right off the bat, it really is a resume for you, okay? And whether you like it or not, when people are meeting you or they're referred to you, they're probably doing a background check on you. So here's an example. I'm just going to go to Google, and I used this example with a gentleman the other day who was trying to tell me that he didn't even have a LinkedIn profile. And I said, all right, well, let's go to Google and let's put your name in. So this broker's name is Mark Titleman, and we put it in, and what was the first thing to come up? Okay, Mark Titleman on LinkedIn. The first thing to come up, and if you scroll down, you might find some of his websites, but first thing is his LinkedIn profile, okay? And you know, obviously we've tuned it up and made it a lot better, but I think my point, guys, with understanding step one is to understand that when people are looking, maybe you've gone out to lunch with a potential client, someone's been referred to you, whatever, they're going on and they're checking you out, whether you like it or not. And, you know, back in the day when we, whatever, wanted a job, we had resumes. Well, I like to think of your LinkedIn profile as a resume, okay? So the next kind of thing to understand is to make sure that your profile is complete and it's a proper professional resume. And I'm just going to go through a few things that I find most people don't have set up correctly. I'll pinpoint them out, and you know, hopefully you'll find it helpful. So first thing, of course, have a professional picture of yourself. If you don't have any picture at all, that's not good. I think you have to have a picture. People want to get to know who you are. Have a picture and make sure it's professionally done. You know, no pictures of you playing ping pong in the basement. You're a professional. You're a salesman. You're trying to project a high brand. Certainly have a picture of yourself. And bear with me as I play with my new highlighter toy here, guys. Okay. The next thing you want to make sure you focus on, and this is important from a connection standpoint, is make sure that your professional and educational background is complete, okay? So you want to make sure you've listed where you currently work, where you used to work, and if you went to college, put that in. Not because you're bragging about these accomplishments, because the way LinkedIn can connect you with people and the way LinkedIn will put you into searches is going to increase with the more data you put in, okay? So that's very important. Put where you work, certainly put where you went to school, all good stuff. And then obviously, you know, make sure all of your current information is up to date when it comes to your website, your other social media presences, very important. Okay, I see some questions coming in. I'll answer them all at the end. One thing that I find probably 65% of all insurance agencies do a bad job at, the write-up about what they do and why they're different. Again, I'm having highlighter problems here, but you'll see in the summary section. My point is make sure this is complete. Tell people why they want to do business with you. Tell them why you're great. Tell them why your agency is different. So many times I come in and I see someone say, oh, we sell auto insurance. Wow, that was inspiring. Come on, this is a resume. You're trying to impress people. This is the first thing people are finding when they're Googling you. Make it represent your brand. So again, these are some simple things, but important. There is a new feature that came out about 6 months ago called Skills and Expertise. Make sure that you put in keywords into that. Now you'll see that my skills, I have social media marketing, lead generation, web design, public speaking, golf, marketing strategy, entrepreneurship. There are a variety of different things. Running, search engine optimization. These things are all strategically inserted there because these are actually keywords that'll help your profile show up more. So don't think of it like, oh, I'm not an expert in this. You know, if it's a thing that's going to help people find you, put in the keyword. Keep it to about 25 keywords at the most. And then finally, way down at the bottom here, you are going to see my contact information. Another thing I find a lot of agents do a horrible job at. For whatever reason, I go to people's LinkedIn profiles, and I can't find their email address. I can't find their phone number. Okay, now sometimes people will say, I didn't put it there because I didn't want people to call me, cold call me. Honestly, the odds of people using this to get your phone number to call you is very unlikely. I mean, they buy lists by the day. Always want to be proactive from a positive standpoint. This is a potential client that wants to contact you. They don't know how to contact you. Make sure your contact information is there. So again, that's kind of some simple beginner stuff, but to me it's beyond important. So I guess my point is step 2 is to go in and make sure these things are updated and complete. Very important. And obviously the way you would do that is just to go into LinkedIn, click Edit Profile up in the upper left here, and there'll be little edit buttons next to everything. Just click the Edit button, put in the info. I mean, it's pretty simple. Step 3, and this is where we get to really the marketing standpoint. You need to grow your distribution of contacts. And what a lot of people don't think about with LinkedIn is they don't think about it as a database. Well, that's the way I think about it. I think about LinkedIn as me connecting with people, and then that person is in my database, so I have the ability to communicate with them at will. And, you know, I'm clicking on contacts, I'm clicking on connections here, and you'll see that I have, you know, a pretty growing list here of connections. I have almost 2,000, and they're all my target market. They're insurance professionals, and I've created really just a bunch of organized subfolders here that I kind of have coded for different, you know, my own coding. But you'll see that each one of these subfolders has 50 people in it. And that was done strategically because LinkedIn gives us the ability to actually send mass messages to 50 people at once. So you'll see if I click on this website for folder, click select all, and then click send message, I have the ability to send a mass message to these 50 targeted people in a few seconds. So I've had other webinars where I focus really on that, and I will in the future. I don't want to get too crazy with how to build the database and that part, but I think my point is I'm trying to create a mindset here for you to realize that it's about creating a virtual database. Common question, Ken, I already have a database where I put people's information. Yes, you do, but people are much more likely to pay attention to LinkedIn than they are to your phone call or to your email. This is just another way to touch them, hence you have to create a separate database to do that. A little frustrating, but the results can outweigh that. So with this, I kind of mentioned, you know, you want to go in and you obviously want to upload in your email connections. So if you go into LinkedIn and click on Contacts, Add Connections, you have the ability to upload in your current database, all those email addresses, and actually connect with people. But more importantly, I want you to have the mindset of creating an organized database and then touching every person you're connecting with. And you might see this from other competing people that you may see this with other, I shouldn't say competing, but you may see this with other professionals that you're connected with. You'll connect with them, and then immediately you'll get an email saying, hey, Bob, thanks for connecting with me. Just wanted to let you know that we, you know, are involved in the floral industry, and if you have a wedding coming up or whatever, you know, please let us know. My point, guys, is the advanced users with LinkedIn, they have a system in place where it's constant. It never ends. Let's put it that way. You're connecting with people. You're then going into your connections, you're organizing those new connections into an organized database, and as you're organizing them, you're also sending them a personal message saying, hey, thanks for connecting, this is what we do, if you ever need any help, we're always here. And it's not time-consuming if you have a system in place, and what it's allowing you to do is it's allowing you to touch people. And not only touch them, but statistics have shown, and I can abide by this, you have a much higher percentage chance of getting these people to pay attention to what you're saying. So that's kind of my point here with step 3. We want to create a mindset of, I got to connect with people, I got to do some work and organize them so then I can send out messages to them later, which are going to pay off, and I should have a pre-written welcome message that tells people about what I do, because even though I've connected with them, they may not know exactly all the services I offer. Step 4, and I haven't really talked about this in the past much, but you really should take advantage of what's called the recommendations feature. Okay, so if you go to your LinkedIn profile, click on Profile, there's a drop down, and you'll see 3 down is called Recommendations. And in short, you have the ability to proactively go out to all the people you're connected with and say, hey, look, we've done business together or whatever. Can you please write a recommendation for me? And if we look at my profile here, you'll see that I have quite a few here in the recommendations for Kenneth. And, you know, these things have been very powerful for me. They've helped me get new business. It creates what I call credibility. And as we're using all of this virtual stuff, the thing that kind of gets lost is that personal touch with people. You don't get to know people as well because there's not as much personal meeting of people as there used to be. I guess I didn't really say that correctly, but you get my point, guys. How do we create instant credibility? And to me, it's having recommendations on your LinkedIn profile, which, by the way, should be linked to your website as well, so people can go in here and go, oh, wow, you know, this guy really spoke highly of Ken. And then they have the ability to actually click on these people and go and see their profile, learn more about them, and certainly they can message them. It just creates a lot more of credibility, which unfortunately in this agency, unfortunately in this industry, credibility can be hard to come by. You know, we're often typecast as, you know, poor salesmen or whatever. So anything we can do to get more credibility, it's definitely worth it. So my point here with step 4 is you have the ability to proactively go out to people and say, hey, can you write a recommendation for me? You know, we've worked hard for you. So the way you do that is, again, go to Profile, click on Recommendations, and if you scroll down here, let me see here, you can click on Request Recommendations up here on the top. Let me find my highlighter right here, Request Recommendations. And if you click on that, they've created a pretty easy step-by-step thing where you can choose, you know, what company you want to get recommended for. So I'll choose CEO of Snoozy. You can say, decide who you want to ask. Now, this is a little trick here. If you click on the In button right there, it'll pull up your database. Like I said, we're creating a database. So here's a list of all the people I'm connected with. So maybe I want to ask Eric Aberg, you know, to recommend me. So I've selected him. He's now in this box. It's going to send the message to him, right? And then what you want to do, and this is very important, guys, you want to customize this message down here, okay? LinkedIn gives you a default message, can you endorse me, blah, blah, blah. And I often see people send this to me, and I find it almost insulting when they do this because I know they've sent it out to their whole book of clients. What you really should do is pinpoint your top dozen or top 10 people, take some time, do one a month, okay? And just have it, you know, make it a good letter that's a paragraph long that says, hey, Bob, you know, really trying to use social media, excuse me, really trying to use social media to grow our business, really trying to push my LinkedIn profile, using it as a resume. We've worked hard for you for the last few years. If you get a second, can you just write a few sentences on how our agency has helped your business? And I guarantee you, if you take that extra 2 minutes, you customize this letter up a little bit, the people will absolutely write recommendations for you. Okay, I'm confident in that. If you just do it quick and you don't put the time in and you try to mass message it out to everybody, you're not going to get people writing them. So take the time, create a custom message there, send it out. Beyond helpful. And then, I'm going to kind of close with stay active. I think most agencies and agents I talk to, they feel like, okay, I was playing with this for a month, and then, I stopped for a year. Then I came back and I played with it for a month. What I'd like to see everybody do is put in 10 minutes a week. Okay, you definitely can do that. Just, I don't know, make some time, put it on your calendar. Maybe it's Monday morning. All I want you to do once a week is to, log in, monitor any messages you get, accept any invitations you get, and then organize and send these people a welcome message. Not that hard. And I used this one, I had another gentleman who said, hey, I haven't used LinkedIn in a while. So I said, okay, well, let's build him a new website. I said, give me your login. I'll go in there and check out what you got and fix anything I need to fix. I go in there. The guy had about 5 messages. 3 of them were leads. So I called him up and said, hey, got a message here from last May. This guy's looking for some liability insurance for his restaurant. Did you get this? No. My point was he had 3 leads in there from people he pretty much didn't really know, and he never saw them. But he never took the time to log in every day. So his fault. To me, that was a big-time wake-up call for him, and I guarantee you now every week he's going in there and keeping it up to date. So if you're going to have a profile, I'll kind of close with this. Remember, people are finding it. People are messaging you, regardless if you think it's valuable or not. Other people look at it as a communication tool. Take your time, make it look good, do the little things to stay organized, to stay on top of it. It will pay off. On the flip side, you do have to put a little time into it. And, in my opinion, over the last 5 years using this stuff, it's been very valuable.